Hey, what's up, everybody? Jake here, and welcome to the Card Lounge podcast. I'm back with my co-host,
Robo Skills. What's up, y'all?
and we got the glory of Team Rocket in the house. It is the release weekend of the glory of Team Rocket. Rob and I thought it'd be fun to do a little pack battle again.
Yes.
Same way we did with Journey Together. We're going to be opening up some glory of Team Rocket pack, and I say first person to get a legit hit, which is illustration, rare, or SIR, wins the pack battle.
Yes, and whoever wins gets to RKO body slam the loser into this table and break it in half.
I never committed to this agreement, but we're still going to do it. Let's go. Let's see.
All right, let's see. Let's do it.
Jake's, you want to do it? I've already opened up one, so this would be your first opening, right?
Yes, guys. I have not touched a single Glory of Team Rocket pack. I know there's about 50 people in China just somehow, or not Japan, getting these packs. Just other, you know how many collectors are in Japan right now?
I'm going to see if I can find a heavier pack. I'm going to grab the first three and see if I can compare them.
I'm going to see. And guys, why I said we are going to slam whoever's the winner gets this body slam the loser. I just got back from Wrestlemania.
Yeah.
And now I feel the Wrestlemania adrenaline coming through, and it's going to help me pick. Look, these are my three. Boom.
Yeah, as we're recording this, WrestleMania is happening here in Las Vegas, and Rob got VIP seats for being an absolute baller.
A baller?
A baller.
No, Jake could have got him too. Jake just didn't want to go.
I'm not saying I can't go, but I'm just not a fan of wrestling,
I get it. Now that I've seen it in person, I'm like, I get it, though.
All right, I got my first pack.
I get it. All right. Oh, yeah. All right, here's my first pack.
All right.
Let's
do yours first. We're doing yours first.
Glory of Team Rocket.
So that's how you open Japanese packs. I really struggle opening up mine because you know what I do?
From the bottom.
I use this little rippy thing, and it's people have been telling me this. This rippy thing is a trap, guys. This little rippy thing on the side, absolute trap.
On One Piece cards, it what works. You should use. On Pokemon, you just flip it and start from the bottom. All right, for all you audio listeners out there, I got a Rocket Zubat.
With Jill!
Wow.
I named the girl Jill.
Okay, guys,
the Team Rocket female
I'm
grunt.
looking at these artworks because these are the first time I've seen this stuff. Torchic. Give me something good. Flaffy.
Rocket symbol.
Rocket
energy. Yeah,
it's
like
Rocket
energy.
Double dark energy. Oh, and a Mimikyu.
Hey, before you open the next pack, look at that. Tell me that doesn't look like a dark Mimikyu, kind of.
It does look like a dark Mimikyu.
So I've noticed that with the Team Rocket art, they absolutely make the Pokemon look a little bit darker. Look at this. Look at this Rocket Flaffy.
But they don't call it dark.
Right. I don't think that makes sense from a mechanical standpoint, which is why they didn't do it. All right, I'm going to do the pack opening trick that Rob taught me. You open from the bottom, and you open it just like an English booster pack is what you're saying? Oh, it does kind of work.
Kind of. Yeah, you got it.
I've always used the rippy thing. And
How many times have you've opened Japanese packs before?
Yeah, but I normally use the rip, and it doesn't work out very well.
Right.
You know? We got ourselves another Team Rocket card. Rotom. They are non-Team Rocket cards in here. Oh, no. Oh! We got ourselves a Crobat EX. I was like,
Jake's one
I
round
was
up
worried
on
that
me.
was a full art SIR, and that would have been like a weak kind of SIR hit.
Right.
Or a full art secret rare.
Right.
That would have been a weak secret rare.
You
And Arbok.
Ooh, see, that looks like a dark Arbok.
But it's not Jesse's.
All right, well, show the camera.
It's not Jesse's Arbok.
I know.
Right? That's the unfortunate thing.
It should be Jesse's Arbok. I know a lot of people were upset, I saw online, of just saying, like, we wish we could have saw some more Jesse and James cards. But as you and I have discussed, they don't really... Guys, the anime doesn't tie into the card game as much as, like, the characters from the video game kind of work with the card game.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of goes.
Absolutely.
All right. Oh, my gosh. Am I picking bad packs? Skarmory. A dark Rattata. Or Rocket's Rattata. Mankey. Arcanine. Veluza. Man, another Dude, I picked 2 non-holo packs.
All right, next pack. I'm going to do the general one. Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
you
rip is
a little...
No. It's the rippy thing. It's a trap. It's very
is that
hard.
What you did?
Yeah.
You did it that way.
It kind of bounces when you do that.
Yeah,
right?
that was interesting.
All right. Rocket's
Nidorina?
Oh, yeah, the dark. Look at the dark art on it, though. It
looks
looks like a dark Pokemon, right?
Yeah, it's like a dark Larvitar.
At least they threw that in.
A Darvitar.
Oh, my God.
Dude.
Nidoking, Giovanni's Nidoking EX.
That looks cool. Hey, we called, I know our last podcast came out after the release, but we called that they would do a Giovanni's Mewtwo, and they did. Yeah. So shout outs to everyone in the comments that believed in us. We appreciate y'all's
I'll be honest, that's a low ball kind of like guess.
I
Like
mean,
it's so expected. I'd be shocked it wasn't in there.
They didn't do a lot of other like stuff you could say would be expected.
It's right on the cover. It's like if they don't do a Rockets Mewtwo with Mewtwo art like this.
I'm not opening any more packs. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad. I can't even get a. Okay, guys, I just opened my third pack. I got a Giovanni's Nidorina, a Mankey. I got a Rockets walkie-talkie. And Giovanni's Nido Queen. What? They didn't even make that a cool artwork?
Well, I mean, they can't make everything an EX, if that makes sense.
That's true. Dude, guys, what is this? I mean, how many sets have we opened up?
I don't know all 1,000 Pokemon.
We open up packs for a living, though. This is not a Pokemon that they've made a card for in the last 2 years.
Oh, it's the evolved form of Chimecho.
No, it's not, because otherwise it would have a thing there.
That's the basic.
It does look like a...
It's a basic.
The thing that evolves into Chimecho?
I think so.
No.
I get it.
It's not the Chimecho. Looks kind of like it could evolve from or to a Chimecho, but it's not. It's a psychic type. I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
All right, next booster packs, guys. I am on an absolute wreck train right now with Rob because I've got 2 EX on him. And if I pull an IR right now, then it's just game over. It's just game over. We got ourselves the Team Rocket Ekans.
The fact we haven't pulled an IR is like so
I'm
insane
not surprised.
to me.
I'm not surprised. There's 20 or 30 booster packs. Yeah, there's quite a few.
Hey! Oh my god.
That's all it takes, guys. 3 for 3. We got ourselves 2 EX and the Zamazenta.
You picked, and then I got rare. 3 non-holo packs. Oh,
that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. I did weigh them in my hand. I didn't.
I really like that Zamazenta artwork.
I was telling people about this. If they made a counterpart Zacian, like another one where it's on another hill,
that would look cool.
It would be a great combo.
That would have been a great combo.
Yeah, but Zacian's not in the set.
Yeah, just
they do have dark. Technically, Dark Moltres, Dark Articuno, and Dark Zapdos inside of the set. The only one that's an EX is the Moltres, and the Articuno and the Zapdos are holo rare. And I was like, well, that kind of ruins the set too. You can't have an ultra rare Moltres EX next to a holo rare Zapdos and Articuno.
Well, but they do that though because 151, the Zapdos got it.
I get that, but as a comparative set, like you can't have 3 next to each other and have a cool set. Does that make sense?
Sure.
But yeah,
I will say the Articuno IR from Battle Partners is cool enough that now you can go, well, from Journey Together, right? You get the Articuno. From this set, Destined Rivals, you can get the Moltres. And then from 151, you get the Zapdos. Just kind of a cool little extra special illustration rare set.
Okay. Now that all the art cards have been revealed from the Glory of Team Rocket,
yes.
What is your opinion of the actual set?
My opinion is, well, I haven't gotten to open up much of it.
But have you seen all the illustration rares?
I think this is odd that they're throwing in mysterious Pokemon that they've never thrown in before. This has not been a card in the last 3 or 4 years. This is insane.
That's completely normal. It looks like a baby.
I think it's weird that you don't think it's weird.
No, I think it's weird, but at the same time, it's like there's lots of Pokemons that have not made appearance in years. Like we talked about last week, the Ultra Beasts haven't made an appearance in over 2 gens.
Right, but if they made a Buzzswole card, we would be like, oh, that's Buzzswole.
Sure,
the fact that I don't even have a memory of seeing another Pokemon card of this Pokemon. It's crazy.
It's the same thing with like the Rocket set. Okay, there's a bunch of Rocket officers
I want to open another pack.
You can open up another pack.
Right,
I'll give Rob one more shot.
Pack. I'm gonna pull the secret rare guys out of
random. If you pull the secret SIR, you technically beat me.
It's all right. Yeah, this is my redemption pack to beat Jake. I have to pull.
Really?
Nothing.
All right.
It's guys. So I got Tailo, Zubat, which we've already seen, the Pupitar, Rocket's Pupitar, and
Dark
Rocket's
Murkrow. Dark Murkrow.
Didn't even get a holo. I would like to just see what some of the holos look like. But to answer your question, I do feel, just as a general sentiment from what I've gathered online, and it kind of parallels with my own sentiment, kind of a similar thing with Prismatic Evolutions in that this set was built on so much pre-hype, some predestined hype that just set prices over the moon. People were expecting like return of Dark Blastoise, Dark Charizard, maybe a Rocket's Mewtwo, really making it a quote-unquote Rocket set.
Yeah.
Whereas now all the cards have been revealed, you realize it's more like how they did Rocket Pokemon in Gym Challenge. And that kind of makes it more of like how it pairs with battle partners, a kind of discovery of Gym Heroes Gym Challenge, like trainer apostrophe S Pokemon.
Yeah.
So because of that, I do feel like prices on these sets are going down, and prices on the English version, Destined Rivals, will go down too, because it's not like a super rockety set, even though there's a big Rocket R on the front of the pack.
It is rockety in terms of like there are rocket Pokemon and stuff like that, but it's not to the same level that people wanted.
Correct.
You know, people were expecting Jesse and James. People were expecting a super cool SIR Mewtwo. I expected that.
I did too.
And the SIR Mewtwo, I would say, is no longer my top chase card from the set. I think it's okay. It's a cool card.
What's yours?
But it didn't reach the level.
We'll say it on the count of 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Cynthia's Garchomp. Not bad.
Wait, Cynthia's Garchomp?
It's in Destined Rivals for me. But for this set, yes, it's the Moltres.
Yeah,
I would agree
Moltres,
with you.
right?
I'm happy with any of the SIRs, actually. Yeah. Any of these Pokemon Special Illustration Rare SIR from the Glory of Team Rocket, I'm happy with. For Destined Rivals, my current top chase card is the Cynthia's Garchomp.
Yeah, the Cynthia's Garchomp, I think, out of the last 2 sets, it is impressive looking. And it's cool how they have her there and then she's blown up on the big screen. I think the Moltres artwork is fantastic.
I would agree with you. The Moltres has the best artwork.
Yes.
To me, comparable to the Mewtwo in that I'd be equally happy to pull either.
Yeah. And then you know what I think has the second best artwork? That Zamazenta, to be honest. I mean, now seeing it in person, it looks very cool.
I pulled my chase, which was the Houndoom illustration rare. I thought that one was really good.
Does it look cool? You know what? So the Houndoom has texture on it, right? It's an SIR?
No, it's an illustration
rare.
Oh,
it's an illustration rare?
Yeah.
If they put texture and a little bit of like pizzazz and hollow on this card, how fantastic would that look as an SIR?
Yeah. Really cool card.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's going to go out to a viewer because we're giving it away. If you'd like to win some free Glory of Team Rocket booster packs, we are going to autograph one of these cards and give away all of the hits that we pulled from today's video.
Yes, sorry I couldn't pull some better cards for you guys, but I do have my packs as well. Jake and I will both sign a card. So yes, like the video, leave a comment down below.
Yeah, the one issue I had with this set was you brought it up earlier, is that the people from Team Rocket, like I recognize Giovanni, and I recognize some of the other officers, but some of them I have no idea. I'm like, who are you? Who are you?
It would just have helped, I think, especially with a lot of new people coming into Pokemon right now and all the new hype. I think when you think of Team Rocket, a big part of that is thinking of Jesse and James and Meowth.
Sure.
And they have Giovanni's Meowth in there, but they just didn't include Jesse and James. And I get, like I just said earlier, that the card game is more so depicting characters from like the actual video games, but they've made a Jesse and James card like what we've seen in Hidden Fates.
Yeah.
And they had a Arbok and a Coughing card that had Jesse and James in them.
Yeah. Same way that you pulled that common Rocket Pokemon that we couldn't figure out and identify. There's people like that. There's like a Team Rocket member on here called Team Rocket Proton. That's his name. His name is Proton. I swear on my life, his name is Rocket Proton. Yes.
Is it this person with the green hair?
No, they're not even on the pack art.
It's not this person with the purple hair?
That's just a Rocket Grunt. That's
interesting.
But basically, they have a full art trainer called their Team Rocket Officer Proton.
His name is Proton.
Proton. And I'm like, who are you? I've never heard of you in my life.
Heard of...
Exactly. I agree.
Team Rocket member Proton.
Yes.
Okay.
Look it up. I don't have my phone with me because it's
Who's
charging.
His rival? Electron?
I just don't know, dude. But basically, that's what's happening is that's not what people expected, right?
Right.
No one cares about that full art trainer card of this random Team Rocket officer.
Yeah.
But they chose to print it, and that's where the disconnect is that people had a certain hype or expectation of this, and it didn't meet their expectation.
I think I can think of another thing that we haven't talked about yet, but I'm wondering if you're having this same thought. There's, even looking at the pack art, right? You have Coughing, which we know evolves into Wheezing, and then you have Arbok. These represent Jesse and James Pokemon.
Sure.
But then the other Pokemon they used, Rattata, Murkrow, these kind of like dark, they used the new Spidops, which I will admit, I do like the Spidops illustration rare.
Yeah.
Where it looks like he's like building a web shield in real time.
Yeah.
That looks cool. But what I noticed with Rocket Pokemon, and I remember this from the show, like it's like it's like these very how do you say it? Like maybe like cheap or kind of easy Pokemon to just be like, these aren't very special Pokemon, so the way we'll make them special is that there'll be these evil Pokemon that Team Rocket uses.
Sure.
So you get things like Rocket's Raticate and, Rocket's Murkrow and, whatever else.
I think these Pokemon make sense. Like Eradicate is purely a thief's
Evil
Pokemon.
Exactly.
And that
right.
makes sense.
Okay, so let's go with that, right? But there's no Rocket's Thievul, and that is like the thief fox Pokemon. And there's no Rocket's like Sneasel, or they've made like the new I guess there's newer Pokemon that have come out in the last 2 gens that I feel like are what you could consider those like kind of easy but could be turned, their tone could be turned evil or dark.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't really make that attempt to make them dark. And what I mean by that is, remember in Gym Challenge,
mm-hmm.
there's a Zapdos,
mm-hmm.
so iconic that they brought it back in celebrations, but it's the Rocket Zapdos, right?
I remember that.
They just made it a Rocket Zapdos. From Team Rocket Returns, there's Rockets like Scizor, there's Rockets Hitmonchan. These cards that like, I don't know, like I would have just liked to have seen a Rockets and then something that is maybe a little bit more epic than Eradicate, that they could have given the dark tone to and would have fit really well with the dark tone.
Well, you just brought up a really good example of that, which is the Rocket Spidops. Spidops is a new Pokemon.
Fair.
And they do a little bit of that, but it is sprinkling.
Yes.
And I do think that's neat that they threw it in a Pokemon that we never attached to Team Rocket, but it makes sense that it's a Rocket Pokemon.
Sure. And well, I guess that's why I brought up Spidops in that. And I did say like, I like the artwork for that because the darkness fits it. I wish I would have seen more of that. They could have made a Rocket's, I don't know, like Orthworm or a Rocket's Mabosstiff.
No, I'm absolutely with you. I would think that the viewers are actually thinking the opposite. Is that the general consensus I feel right now is that they didn't hit enough nostalgic points. People want more Rocket Eradicate from the set. It's not rockety enough. And you're on the other side of, I wish they did some more innovative rockety stuff. And both are cool, but it's a little tug of war, right?
Sure.
On like, which one do they do?
They could have done more of the nostalgic point stuff too. I think if you have like Jesse's Arbok or, you have a James's Wheezing, that would have been cool. But okay, and you talking actually just made me think of like, if you do, so from the more recent sets, I guess like, you know how they had like the Team Star Grunts and then they were like kind of evil, like the Reveroom, the car is kind of like, I mean, it's a car Pokemon, but it's kind of seen as more of like a dark Pokemon. They could have had like a Rocket's Reveroom, or they could have just gone the route of pick a random Pokemon, doesn't have to be dark. Like, for celebrations, how they came out with Dark Sylveon.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool because Sylveon is seen as this like kind of, light essence creature, but they gave it like a kind of a dark tone and it looks kind of darker in the artwork. So you could just do something that's like a belly bolt or like a character. Oh, you know what? Like Farigiraf, because Farigiraf is something where I've always thought like, Rocket's Girafarig would look pretty cool, but the Farigiraf could have had like a Rocket's tone. I just didn't feel like there was enough of these kind of like newer Pokemon that I think are more identifiable with the newer generation that they could, the new starters, there could have, how we had Dark Charizard, Dark Blastoise back then? Mm-hmm. They could have done a Rocket's Skeledirge, a Rocket's Meowscarada. And I just think, I don't know, they're more prominent Pokemon. It would have been cooler than just Raticate and Murkrow and Ekans,
Yeah. And that's the interesting tug of war there. And you brought up another good point is that there is a Arbok and Coughing and those callbacks in there. And if you look at the portrait of the trainer for those Pokemon, right, it's just Team Rocket grunts.
It's just right.
it's just generic Team Rocket grunt. And I'm saying just make that portrait Jesse or James, and people will be okay with that. That's all it takes. You don't have to name them. You don't have to change the mechanic in any way.
Right.
You just need their portrait in the corner. And that's basically what it is that Giovanni is a name trainer and everything else is Rocket.
Rocket, right. Well, to your point, I guess you would think it'd just be Jesse's Arbok. I think people would have liked that. But even if they called it Rocket's Arbok, but it just had Jesse's picture in there, I think that would have been a nice little like tip of the hat for the nostalgia.
All it takes. That's all it takes to make people enough happy. And that's the issue right now is that it didn't live up to the hype. It's still a really good set. I don't think Destined Rivals is a weak set in any way. Like people have to be blown away to call it weak.
Well, so everyone was fighting online where everyone's like, the Giovanni's Mewtwo is the greatest artwork of all time. And then some people are like, oh, the artwork is so bad. And people are like, oh, it's this great, great, great set. And some people are like, oh, it's super weak. And I think the fact that there's enough people saying both things on both sides just proves the point that it's in the middle. Like, it's not a bad set at all. It's just a regular good set that Pokemon put out, and that's how we need to start viewing it. And we need to realize the community is what's adding to just like making a regular good set to be this like unachievable. It's like we're giving Pokemon these expectations that we cannot expect them to live up to, you know? And then it just we set ourselves up for failure because then we make the price of things super, super expensive because everyone speculates that it deserves to be that expensive, you know?
Fully agreed. I think you brought up a great point is that we made the prices what they are today. We as a community made the booster boxes this expensive for a normal standard set. The Pokemon Company probably designed this set 2 years ago, guys. Like that's how far in advance they planned these out. And they never expected this set to be anything other than another standard set with some Rocket callback. That's what the designer is planning. And here we are as community expecting all of these things. Like, oh, there's going to be an armor Mewtwo, a test tube Mewtwo. Mewtwo is going to have an awesome SIR where it's doing the Kamehameha or something crazy, you know? And that's not what happened with the set. It's just another standard, very solid set. Which is what it was always meant to be.
You know what? And you touch on the fact that, right, I think so many people think that because the hype, you know, even for Prismatic, people are like, oh, and then we get the Rocket links and they go, oh my God, the Rocket leaks happen. You know, Pokemon must be, you know, designing these cards right now and they're just going to give us a super nostalgic like hit. And it's like, no, guys, if a set is coming out now, they designed that set over a year ago, maybe 2, you know? And so it's like they were working on this set with the low expectations of how Scarlet Violet base was like met with, which, you know, really no one was really excited about Scarlet Violet base when it dropped.
You know, this is going to sound kind of controversial, but basically, I never got the hype. I knew this set was going to be hype from a community perspective, but I never understood the hype for it because it's just another set to me because there's always going to be nostalgic callbacks. We're probably going to get a shiny Charizard later this year or something like that. We're probably going to get Mega Charizard. Megas are coming back. There's always going to be more mechanics, more callback. They still have Tag Team GX in the back of their pocket. If they want to do like a Tag Team EX set next year, Mega Tag Team EX, they could do that.
And people will lose their minds.
Exactly. There will always be another bigger and better callback. So people got to stop speculating. People just have to stop it.
But we've been in it for longer. Like, so when I say the community like built the price up for this set on like hype, I would actually probably argue that we probably don't contribute to that as much. But it's so funny because I'll see comments even on the clips that we post for the podcast where people will say because we're talking about it, we're talking about the speculation and that's what's driving the prices high, but because we bring more awareness to more people because people follow us, then like people think we're trying to make the prices go high. And it's like, no, well, ideally we would like the prices to be low so we can just buy more of it and as much as we want. But it's just the fact that like we can't influence the overall, you know, the market, right? Like everyone in the hobby is what's making the prices go high. It goes back to the old kind of like story with scalpers where it's like, hey, if you just want prices to come down, it's very easy. Just no one buy at like 3 times MSRP, but someone always, bends the knee at some point.
Yeah, the market dictates the price.
Yeah, market dictates.
That's ultimately what it is at the end of the day. I can right now predict that Destined Rivals will sell out at release, but that's not a shocker. That's not a controversial take. It's gonna sell out,
and it's not that crazy of a set. No. I don't even think it's as crazy as Prismatic Evolutions. I think it'll be a very bloated set. The fact that it's combining Journey Together and
Heatwave Arena and Destined Rivals. I do think
and Glory of Team Rocket.
The Glory of Team Rocket, right, to become Destined Rivals.
Right.
I do think it's comparable. Like, I could say Destined Rivals is probably about as good as Journey Together or Searching Sparks.
Sure.
Like a really, really good
strong set. Right, but nothing super amazing.
Right. It's not going to beat Prismatic Evolution because Prismatic Evolution is always a special set. Like Paldean Fates, Prismatic Evolutions, 151. Those are special set. They really designed those sets to hit certain beats. This is just another partner set.
Right.
With some Team Rocket thematic added in.
But still just a partner set.
They didn't need to do Team Rocket. If they threw a fresh coat of paint on this and called it Team Aqua versus Team Magma, that would have worked as well. Whatever.
Correct.
Same thing would have happened.
Same thing. You just have like Team Magma's Wall Rain or I guess it'd be Team Aqua's. But yeah, it would just be like the different character faces. They'd come up with different Pokemon. They'd still probably have some cool SARs. But because it was Giovanni and Team Rocket, people just lost their minds. And then everyone just put in this preemptive over speculation hype, and it just overhyped the product.
And this is so funny because I thought about this, which was, why did this happen to this set and not other sets? And the basic thing with this set was we cooked on it very, very early on, is that there were so many leaks about a future Rocket set years ago. They copyrighted it over a year and a half ago. We already had rumors of an upcoming Rocket set, and that snowball just slowly rolled down the hill. And people had so much time to dream and think about it. It just kept growing bigger and bigger, and we're like, oh, there's going to be so many SIRs, so many illustration rares, all these callbacks, until it reached an avalanche of hype.
I see what you're saying. To your point, if we didn't know about the leaks as far back as we did, I don't think the prices would have been as aggressive at release.
Yeah, the leaks for the Team Rocket set was so early on. It just built on the legend of it for too long. Right. And I did see the hype for it deflate a little bit after all the reveals, because the speculation is gone. You don't have to think about, oh, what if this card's in the set? We know exactly what's in the set now. And I have seen the prices deflate a little bit. And I've seen this. I've been watching the market prices on the booster boxes sold. At the peak prices, Destined Rival pre-order booster boxes were going for between $375 to $400. $400 a booster box was peak pre-order prices for them. And they've cooled down a little bit right now. They're at close to $300 to $270 is what I'm seeing pre-orders for booster boxes of Destined Rivals go right now. That's still very high, but it's less than $400,
Yeah.
Pre-ordering at $270 is way cheaper than pre-ordering at $400.
$400. When you look at what's all in Heatwave Arena and then what's in Glory of Team Rocket, they combine it to make Destined Rivals. I don't think there is enough star power in this set for it to warrant $400. I mean, I'll go on record and say I don't think there's enough to warrant it to be even right now at $270. I think it'll go down some more, to be honest, because it's not as crazy as Prismatic Evolutions as a set or 151. Like, it is just it's a good set, but it's just a regular set, guys, and it should be treated as such.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to print Destined Rivals for the next 2 years, like how they're doing with 151. Like, dude, we're still getting more restocks of 151 right now. Just this past week, the Pokemon Center unloaded a bunch of 151 booster bundles on the Pokemon Center, and I was able to pre-order 2, which is fantastic right there. But places like GameStop has pre-order. You can pick up 151 Zapdos collection boxes from GameStop next month.
Wait, you can?
Yes, they're gonna have restocks of Zapdos 151 collection boxes.
Wait, not for pre-order though.
No, you have to walk in to pick them up. But still, that's more restocks of 151.
You let me know when that day is.
You're gonna wait in line?
I'm gonna go. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be here or there or where. So I'm just gonna, if I'm around a GameStop and then.
You do have to technically get there early and wait in line, and I do that because I kind of enjoy it.
Sure.
I'm not getting up hours in advance.
Yeah,
But I'll get there 30 minutes before, and I usually get my pre-orders in somehow like that. But yeah, we're still getting more restock of 151. And that's the point, right? 151 is about 2 years old. We're still getting restocks of 151. That's what I expect for Destined Rivals, is that 2 years from now, we'll probably still see some restocks of Destined Rivals.
Is that really? 151 is 2 years old now?
Pretty close. It came out the summer 2 years ago. So we're a couple months away from being the full 2-year anniversary of 151. And it feels like about 2 years old, right?
I feel like it's like maybe I thought it was a year old, to be honest with you.
You're close.
But
you're close.
I guess right. If you just add another year, yeah, I guess that's when it came out.
Yeah.
Man.
But that's the point, is that we're going to get more and more restocks of these sets. Mm-hmm. So, guys, my recommendation is you don't pick up a booster box for 300 plus. Sure. I think for 250 to 270, I could see that being almost reasonable if you want to box right now. And the reason being is Journey Together came out at 250, and I think Destined Rivals is just a little bit more hype and a little bit more desirable than Journey Together for me personally. Yeah. And so 270 makes sense as a current market price. Mm-hmm. At least that makes sense. 400 is absolutely wild. Never pick up a box at 400, right? Yeah.
But then also those of you out there that are just like, oh, I'm going to wait till I can get this at MSRP, or like I want to try to pick up a booster box at, 150 or 160, unless you have a very good relationship with your LGS or some sort of pre-order thing where you can get like one box at that price, I honestly doubt we see any boxes kind of sit at just 160 ever again, unless Pokemon just cranks up the printers and just prints and overprints a set to where people are like, oh, there's enough of this out there. And then usually when everyone has too much, that's when places start to undercut each other on price, and then you start to see a race to the bottom.
Oh, you know what happened this week? They made an announcement. The Pokemon company made an announcement that they're going to offer pre-orders. More pre-orders are going to be available for the upcoming Pokemon Center exclusive Destined Rival ETB. Oh, you didn't get one, right?
I didn't get one.
Right.
Let me know when you see that too.
There's another opportunity, which is good news, is that they're going to have restocks of those.
We're going to get it, guys. If you're follow me somewhere on TikTok or YouTube, follow Jake. We're going to try to let you guys know when the next drop for the Destined Rivals Pokemon Center version ETBs, because I would like to get one of those in my collection.
Rob will most likely be napping or asleep. So if it gets announced, just spam his DM and say, Rob, get one right now.
Wake up.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll be up, but sometimes, dude, I was up when the Bear Walker, the new skateboards came out. Like I was up and I was like, oh, I can go get one. And I went to the site. I didn't even have to sit in a queue. It was just, maybe it was because it's not something card related, but I do think a lot of the skateboards sold out, or at least the Umbreon and the Espeon, I think, sold out really quickly.
I had a couple of the skateboards from the first round of the Bear Walker ones, and those were really cool. Yeah. But they kept doing more and more and more, and at a certain point, I'm like, how many skateboards can I get, guys?
I gotcha. You know what? I really like Bear Walker's art. Hopefully we can have him on the podcast one day and talk to him. His skateboards are really cool, but I do feel like there's a lot of them now, whereas like before, when they were just, when there's less, it's just more exclusive, right? Because there's just less of them. But this new batch, he did a whole evolution line. So I did pick up a Umbreon skateboard, and I think it looks pretty cool.
See, now someone out there has got to have the whole entire evolution line.
Yeah, of course.
It would look cool in our shop, but ultimately, how many skateboards can we possibly display?
Yeah. Is there someone out there that bought one of each evolution because they love EVs and maybe they love skateboards? And that will look really cool as a display.
So that's one of those things where I get burned out of it, is that if they keep doing exclusive stuff, it loses its exclusivity, right? So the first Bear Walker drop, I had to get those skateboards because I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Yeah. Exclusive Pokemon skateboard, once in a lifetime. But then they do a once in a lifetime every year, again and again with every new skateboard. They did one for the 25th anniversary, and they kept doing more and more with Bear Walker, which is fine. I'm happy that he's getting those collabs. But obviously, it loses its exclusivity magic on me now. So as a collector, I don't get the hype for it anymore, right? And that's okay. Like, sets like these should not be exclusive. And you and I had a little bit of conversation about that, is that the Rocket Briefcase from Japan are now print to demand. If you want to order one from Japan, you can actually just put in your pre-order and you will 100% get one of the Rocket Briefcase. You have to be a Japanese citizen and all that.
Oh, right. So we have to, okay.
But it is print to demand for Japanese citizen, which is really cool.
Is there a way you can do that not being a Japanese citizen as long as you have like, I don't know, a Japanese address or like proxy address? I'm basically wondering if there's a way to pre-order one. I mean, because every Japanese citizen can pre-order one. I'm sure that's just going to be based off like a Japanese address or something.
I don't know how many they're truly going to print and how long that window is going to be available for.
Yeah.
But the Rocket Briefcase ultimately is not that exclusive.
Right.
And we've seen the hype deflate for the Rocket Briefcase. That I think at its absolute peak, the pre-order prices for the Rocket Briefcase reached like $700 to $800 for pre-order. Too much, right? But that's on the assumption that these are going to be semi-rare. But now that they're print to demand, instantly, I'm not saying there's more of them available right now. That's just the news, right? It's not like for now we have more. We just know that there will be more.
Right.
That has immediately deflated the hype to the point where the Rocket Briefcase, I think, is going for like $300 right now, which is significantly more reasonable.
Yeah, and it might go for less than that, especially if they print to demand. It does seem like it will be kind of one of those boxes that isn't that hard to get. I mean, to the point of even us pre-ordering, I guess it's not like we have the ability to like, type in a Japanese address and get one directly sent to us. But there are some Japanese things that have been made in the last year or two where when you go to like a Collecticon or just a card show, there's those certain vendors that you can kind of tell that they have family that live in Japan.
Sure.
or they bring a lot of Japanese product to here in America, and that's what they sell. And I would venture to believe that a lot of those booths will probably have Rocket cases. And since they're all going to have them and all be competing, they won't be that pricey, right? Because it's print to demand.
It's a hard sell because it's kind of similar to that super expensive collection box.
Yep.
It's too big, it's too heavy, and it's not that expensive.
Right.
It's not worth it to sell a giant briefcase for $300.
And if you want to open it, all you get is we talked about this, in our
packs.
previous pod. You just get a bunch of packs, 30 packs, but there's not even a special promo card inside. So really, it's like, unless you want one just for the experience, it's not really something that collectors will be like, oh, I need 2, I need 3, I need 4 to collect, which you might do if there was a special promo card inside, just so you could grade maybe multiple copies of that card.
Yeah, so you were talking about how you'll probably see a bunch of these at vendor shows.
I think so.
I don't even think they're worth it. I think they're too weak for vendor shows to even carry because they're too heavy and too hard and too niche to sell. It's too big.
It's right. For a vendor to like want to even bother having it in their inventory, they have to be like, oh, well, do we want to pack 20 of these briefcases to sell at 200, 300, or could they fit in 1,000 more slabs that's the same weight?
Yeah, basically, the Rocket Briefcase is getting to the point where it's cheap enough that it's almost not worth it for them to even sell it or scalp it, Yeah,
and all because they just came out with the news that, isn't it funny how just the information of the printed demand changes the way scalpers might look at the product, collectors might look, everyone looks at the product.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
And I think they can do that for the U.S. or international. Is basically, they don't even have to say much more. We already know that English is print to demand, but it doesn't feel like it right now. To make it feel like it, all they have to do is say, hey guys, we're doing an interest list where if you would like to pre-order a box of Destined Rivals, enter your email here that you're interested, and whenever we have one available, we'll sell it to you for retail price. And it would instantly deflate so much hype for this set, which is the same as what they're currently doing already. They're already going to print to demand, but they just need to put that interest list in there to make it so that people feel like they're no longer FOMOing.
Sure, or just the fact that, like, I guess if they did it that way, could they circumvent a lot of the scalpers? Because
absolutely.
Because I guess even let's say they were to do a print to demand method where they just overprint it. They have like so much product, so many Pokemon cards. At the end of the day, what we see as the community, as the hobby, right? Like if there's just 3 or 4, and we know there's more than 3 or 4 major scalpers that collect a large chunk of that market and then just keep it in their, their spare closet, and it just sits there. It's kind of like why diamonds are expensive in society. It's like they just manipulate the supply and it creates like artificial scarcity.
Right. And that's what the interest list creates, is that it creates it so that you have a scenario where, oh, it doesn't matter how many they scoop up. The Pokemon company is guaranteeing me that I will get one booster box.
Print more.
And suddenly that cools down the demand.
Right.
That might not happen for a year in terms of when you get that booster box, but just knowing that you for sure have one, that peace of mind will lower the prices so much, I think.
And it's like what you just said. Well, the information of it will make everything cheaper, because that information coming out would probably make, I would guess, about 75% of the scalpers in this hobby just leave this hobby to go do scalp something else.
Isn't that crazy? That's
just
all it takes.
The information.
They would get cold feet in that ultimately they're saying, hang on, suddenly all this stuff that I think is rock solid, I could absolutely flip it. I might not be able to flip it in 3 months.
I can't find a buyer that will desperately buy it from me, because they know they can go to Pokemon and Pokemon's guaranteeing them 1 box, or if they want 2 boxes and you pay for 2 boxes, they'll guarantee you 2 boxes. We talked about this a little bit off the pod though. It's like, I think one of the reasons the Pokemon company doesn't do that is because, I mean, I'd be at like, hey, give me 200 boxes. You'd be like 100 or 200. Most families would be
well, no, we're saying like you can guarantee 1 box. That's what they're doing in Japan too.
Well, no, okay, sure with that. But I mean, even most collectors want more than just 1 booster box to open.
I think just with the Rocket Briefcase, right? Mm-hmm. Most people just want 1.
Oh, sure.
If you just have 1 of it, it's enough to deflate demand.
That will appease a huge amount of
and the thing,
family people.
If you want another one, you could probably buy it from someone who just ordered one for a little bit more than retail, maybe.
Maybe,
but it won't be the scenario of $400 a booster box.
Yeah,
that won't happen.
I think the popularity for Pokemon is so strong right now, and the fact that like there's only a limited amount of places you can get Pokemon, and even with it, being though like at LGS's and Target and Walmart and Costco and Sam's Club and Dollar Tree, it's not in every single shop type of America, but there's a lot of places, and there's still just families out there that they can't just, if they feel like they want to rip 6 packs, there's nowhere they can just go and go, oh, I guarantee this product will be here. Unless maybe they have a very big LGS next to them that keeps very healthy stock. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they can't just go to Target or Walmart like you could 4 or 5 years ago and just be like, oh, I know there'll just be some Pokemon card packs on the shelves and I'll get 3 of them because I want to open 3 of them.
Yeah. And I remember what you were saying earlier where you said like, oh, if they allow you to order more, wouldn't we just want to order 200, right? And I agree with that right now in that, hey, if you could order 200 Destined Rivals booster boxes, it's a no-brainer. You should, because they're worth way more than whatever retail price is.
Right.
But if they do make those announcements to print to demand, the prices on booster boxes will probably drop. That's true. Remember there was a point when booster boxes sat on the Pokemon Center forever.
Yeah.
Like you didn't want to order from the Pokemon Center.
After the release, right. Well, because it was so expensive. But that's because there was enough supply that anywhere you looked other than the Pokemon Center, you could always find a box for less than what it was priced at on the Pokemon Center.
Which is why I'm saying in my scenario is that if the news broke where they print to demand in this way, we would not want to order 200 because suddenly that deal doesn't seem that good anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
It would be a lot more reasonable. We might pick up a couple booster boxes just so that we have some for pack openings and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be an instant steal of an awesome deal anymore.
Correct. To just like print infinite money. Yeah.
Right.
Like I would want a lot. Well, because of my shop and then streaming online. So it's like I would just need a lot of packs. But yeah, maybe I wouldn't need 200 because
there was a point in time when you could order as much Temporal Forces, as much Paradox Rift.
Yeah.
There were booster boxes of Silver Tempest. I remember Silver Tempest booster boxes were available in the Pokemon Center for a year and a half. They were just always available. You could order as much Silver Tempest, and they just sat there.
It is true. And you're just bringing up the human psychology of it again. And that's one thing I find so fascinating about the Pokemon hobby, because I was a psych major in undergrad, and in my master's. But I just have been studying psychology for a long time, and I think it's you've brought this up before with like the scarcity kind of how it plays into our minds of when Well, when there's less, and it makes total sense though. When we know there's less supply, you get more than what you even for yourself, not caring about anyone else's supply. You get more for yourself just being like, well, what if I want to open some later and I don't know if I'll be able to get it? So right now, if everything was normal, I'd buy 2 booster boxes, but because everything feels scarce, I want to get 4 now. So when everyone feels everything is scarce, everyone wants to get the maximum amount of stuff that they can grab, which is the worst thing when the product is super scarce. But when the product is super plentiful, then suddenly people go, well, it's plentiful. Like, why wouldn't we just get 100 boxes? Because, I mean, if Pokemon trends the way it always does historically, 5 years down the line, it will be profitable. Like, they're going to be worth more money. But then because it's everywhere all at once and everyone can get it and no one's worried about grabbing it, no one takes it. No one wants any extra. Everyone just goes, I just want my 1 or 2 that satisfy me. And because you can buy 30, 50 more, you don't even go, I don't even need an extra 2 more or 3 more. And it's just so funny because I think actually if you just fight those natural psychological tendencies, you'll do better in the long run for Pokemon as far as it just being able to provide you money, you know?
Right. Your point basically boils down to, hey, why did Silver Tempest sat on the Pokemon Center for a year without selling out? But the reason it sat for over a year was that it was not the best deal. The best deals for Pokemon cards will always sell out first.
Yeah.
And it was not the best deal. Ultimately, you could pick up Silver Tempest booster boxes from your local card shop for $120 or $100 even.
No one was doing that.
Which is what they were picking up those first. Or before the Pokemon Center. But the worst deal is always going to sell out last.
Correct. And even if Pokemon Center was the worst deal, though, isn't it funny now where if you look back, though, if I could have an extra 2 cases of Silver Tempest in my inventory right now at $160 a box, wouldn't we be happy about that?
Well, you did spend that money. You spent it on something else that was a better deal, is what I'm saying. The time value of money is that you did spend that money. You just bought something else that you're more happy about.
Maybe I didn't, though. I mean, yeah, maybe I bought some stuff that were just boxes at a better price. So you're right. I probably did. But it's like, yeah, I guess if it's impossible to just have all the money in the world. But it's like, now I do wish, I remember that. I remember when booster boxes.
We have limited budget.
Limit over 6. And you could just buy a case of whatever set.
Yeah.
Just, that set is out. Give me a case. Luckily, me and Eileen did do that. So I guess this does kind of help with foresight and like provides to our credibility some. There's one Sword and Shield set. Me and Eileen did go, from the site, it's limit 6, but we'll just buy 6 booster boxes so that we could have a case of it.
What case did you get?
You know what case I got.
No, I don't.
Well, what 2 cases do I have completely sealed?
Oh, Sword and Shield? Oh, Evolving Skies.
Correct.
Rob currently has 2 sealed cases of Evolving Skies because we were checking to see what is inside of his collection.
Yes.
And we saw 2 sealed cases, so good on Rob for having foresight, I guess.
I really had forgot. I tucked them away because I just thought, this would be a good set to just get more booster boxes of. But to see how much it's inflated over the last 4 or 5, just gone up so much in the last 4 or 5 months. It's crazy. I didn't think it'd be like this though. Like how it's just so much far separated from the rest of the Sword and Shield sets, you know?
I semi-expected that. I think I made the call 2 or 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Of all Sword and Shield sets, Evolving Skies was the one that I got the most booster boxes of as well.
Sure.
And I'm not a huge hoarder or anything like that. I have 4 booster boxes of Evolving Skies, and it's the most of any sealed booster box set that I have. Sword and Shield. Mm-hmm. For other Sword and Shield set, I have 1 to 2 booster boxes of max of every set. But for Evolving Skies, I have 4. Because same kind of foresight is that I just knew Evolving Skies was special or different.
Felt stronger.
And something that I'm going to want 4 of. And just for the fact of, in 10 years, I might want to open up one with Jake Jr. or something like that. And I want that to have that extra box.
Right. And you can just do that without having to, in 10 years with Jake Jr., spend $8,000 to go get that box. You'll just have it because you just have saved it to that point.
Right. And
can you think about I'm trying to think of who... I think of whose background, even Nostalgianomics or or like even like Rudy that, like, do you think they just have shelves of Evolving Skies cases, like more than 20 of them or 40 of them? Could you imagine having 40 cases of Evolving Skies if a collector had the foresight? Because there was a point in time where I think you and I or anyone could have theoretically amassed that for not that much buy-in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if you just really felt strong about that set, which we all did, but we even talk about how you felt strong enough to get four more boxes.
Right.
I felt strong enough to get 2 more cases. If someone felt strong enough to get 20, 40, 60, 80 cases, they're almost kind of set for any major financial emergency, like.
So here's the thought process, okay?
Yeah.
If you have enough money to buy 80 cases of Evolving Skies, even at its cheapest,
right,
you're not worried about financial for issues. Does that make sense?
That's true.
Why? So you're asking me the question of, hey, Jake, if we're such experts and we had the foresight, why didn't we buy more Evolving Skies?
We didn't have the money to
You
just buy.
and I literally did not have extra income to buy more.
That's fair.
Even if you wanted to buy 80 cases, I 100% do not believe you had the income or money spare to pick up even 20 cases.
You're right.
And sit around.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why we didn't do it.
You know what's funny? And then
it's based on budget.
I'm glad you bring that up for the viewers too, because I myself fall into this. It's almost like the Instagram facade too. I think for other people, when you see, I am now starting to analyze. Like I see people with like certain sealed collections on IG, or if someone takes a cool photo of like all this sealed product that they have, and you're kind of like, dang, were they just really smart and they budgeted correctly and they like have all this money to throw at this to just keep it away? And I realize now, based on especially what you just said, if they were already really good on money to where they don't even need to invest in that, because if you have that kind of spare money to budget to have all that, and you don't need to churn it or sell it right away to get money back, it's just like excess money for you, then you're probably doing very fine on money.
Right. So the scenario that Rob's trying to say is that if you had $100,000 sitting around to buy as many Evolving Skies cases as you want, you're probably going to use your money for something else, like maybe whatever other financial investment they do.
Right.
These people are rich enough that they're not thinking about Evolving Skies.
Yeah.
That's chump change to them. They're in a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
We're in that mindset right now because we're scrappy. We kind of have to be.
Yeah.
You and I have to sort of make good deals, because if we don't, we're in financial burden.
Right.
A bad deal for us is devastating.
Yeah.
For them, they're not going to worry about storing Evolving Skies cases if you had that kind of money, ultimately. And Rob is saying, hey, why didn't I buy more Silver Tempest? Why didn't I buy more Evolving Skies? You bought probably as much as
I could have
physically.
That felt comfortable. And if I felt comfortable buying more, I probably would have bought more.
Yeah.
So you know what? So Jake just made me feel better about that, guys. I'm sure there's actually a lot of people out there, maybe collectors or maybe people that see themselves as like, oh, I want to invest some in Pokemon, and they kick themselves like, oh, why didn't I buy more of that? Don't kick yourselves, guys, because if you think about what me and Jake just talked about for the last 5 minutes, you probably did the best you could with what you had. And if you feel like you could have done better, you can tweak it slightly and just course correct for the next couple great sets that come out, and you'll know what to do. You'll have fine-tuned it a little better.
Yeah, I'm more comfortable buying a case now. I used to never be comfortable buying a case because I'm just not that guy, but I absolutely stream a little bit more now, and I want more boxes to give away or pack openings. So I buy a little bit more now, but back in the day, I just didn't really pick up many sealed. So
probably didn't need as much.
So
packs.
4 sealed Evolving Skies boxes to me was already my highest.
A lot. Oh, right.
So to me, that's the most comfortable I was willing.
But now you see you could burn that in one stream if you just wanted to give some packs to your viewers, and like you're selling some, and then you're like, oh, 4 boxes is gone.
Right. And this brings up the next point is Evolving Skies. I absolutely agree with you. It's a very popular set. It's a very hot set. My viewers love it. I've been giving away some Evolving Skies booster pack, and I had the foresight. I want to give away more Evolving Skies packs or open up more of them with you guys in the future.
Nice.
So I purchased recently 120 Evolving Skies booster pack at roughly $23 to $24 per booster pack. And you and I had the conversation, which was basically, you thought, what, Jake? Why did you do that? I bought all of those booster packs because I kind of want them for the future. And I still think that's the best deal for Evolving Skies there ever is going to be from now till the future. Could I have bought them earlier for cheaper? I could have. Yeah. But ultimately, that's the best deal right now in Evolving Skies. And I know I'm going to want to open up Evolving Skies for the next 10 years. So that in those 120 packs is enough to make sure that I have constant packs to give away or open up with viewers in the future.
I think you'll even want to get more so that now, especially knowing that you bought a bunch of 23, if you see a lot or someone selling like, hey, I've got like 100 Evolving Skies packs, I'll sell them for 20 each, you would probably just go pick those up.
Yes.
Right. And actually, I would too. I at first thought that wasn't that great of a deal when we talked about it. And I think it's because I'm so used to when I was buying boxes, or even the case, right? It's like I was picking up packs of Evolving for $4 or $5. And the most I ever spent on re-upping on more, I remember there was a Collecticon where a guy had like 6,000 packs and he was letting you pick up. He didn't want to sell it all to one person, which I think is cool, but he was letting you just take chunks of it for like $7 a pack.
That's completely fair.
And then maybe next time I saw him, it was just $9 a pack, and people were like, "Oh, it's more money." But then people that realize what we realize now were like, "Oh, $9 a pack. This is still a steal," and they were just buying in quantities of like 400, 500.
You can't base things off on previous prices because those prices are no longer in existence. They technically don't exist any longer.
Correct.
So recently, I picked up some Jungle booster packs for $200 a pack.
That's good.
Yeah, but I gave away one recently on a recent Whatnot live stream. But I was in the mindset of, $200 for this booster pack is a good deal. The mentality I go into it, I can't be saying, I used to buy that pack for $20 9 years ago, so this is a terrible deal. But it is a good deal right now.
You do mentally feel it though. Like I don't re-up. I'll say this. I'm sure I have Evolving Skies.
Sure.
And I guess you tell me, but if you see some loose packs, you should pick it up so you don't need to go into your sealed booster boxes.
Right.
I see what you mean by that now because but I'll say this, because I feel like I have so much, when I see the opportunity to pick up Evolving Skies, or when I had at maybe 10 a pack, 12 a pack, 15 a pack, I just didn't because I felt like I have enough loose. I also feel like I have enough sealed things. I have a bunch of Charizard UPCs. When you open those up, there's like 3 in there.
Yeah.
Plus some other Sword and Shield sets. Like I have stuff I can go through to get loose packs of Evolving Skies.
This is a great point, guys. Mm-hmm. And the basic mentality of it is I think I'm just a little bit ahead of you in that I can no longer open up any more Evolving Skies booster boxes, right?
Right.
Because I have so few Evolving Skies booster boxes, I absolutely do not want to rip open one of my Evolving Skies booster boxes. Mm-hmm. You have more Evolving Skies booster boxes, so you're more comfortable, hey, if I open up a booster box of Evolving Skies here or there, that's not that big of a deal.
Or 13 of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm at the point where, I will not rip another Evolving Skies booster box because I have so few left.
And that makes sense.
And if you were at the same point I am, you would probably be doing the same thing.
Correct. Yeah.
Because you remember XY Evolutions, we were at a point with XY Evolutions where you did not want to rip open another XY Evolutions booster box because you had so few of them.
I know.
And you were searching for loose packs because XY Evolutions is fantastic.
Yes.
And you were searking for loose. And I'm at that same scenario with the Evolving Skies.
I know. And now I'm like, and now I need some more XY Evo because it's fun to open. People want to open it. I was supposed to get one from Fabs. Fabs, I see you. I need you to find me one. He had one, and then he sold it, and I was like, I needed to get that.
It was a box and not a pack, right? Are we hunting this guy for a pack?
It was a box.
Okay, I was worried that we were like hunting this guy for a single Evolving Skies pack.
No.
All right.
But if I can find some loose packs, I'll definitely pick them up. I'm trying to think of like what next card show. I guess I'll be at the Dallas card show in like 2 weeks or something like that. But yeah, and I haven't had time to go to a lot of like local card shows recently, so.
But yeah, I am so low on a bunch of different packs. Mm-hmm. I'm low on Shining Legends. I'm low on Hidden Fates. Mm-hmm. So all these packs are packs that I would like to continue having available for future openings or giveaways or events and all stuff like that. And because I'm low on these, the next time I go to a card show, I'm gonna be looking for, hey, are there any loose Hidden Fates packs? Are there any loose Shining Legends packs? I'm gonna be searching for those.
And guess what? You and about 1,000 other people are as well, and that's why vendors are not even like really willing to cut too many deals anymore, because people are buying right now. Like, people are buying so heavy, and so sellers are just like, holding strong and digging their heels in on
I got a fact that will blow your
deals.
Mind. Well, now that I prefaced it with the fact that it blows your mind, it might not anymore.
Okay.
But guess how much a Team Up booster pack is currently going for? Because I had to look up the number, because I kind of wanted to give away some Team Up booster packs as well, and the number blew my mind. A single Team Up booster pack.
I think I know.
Tell me the number.
I think it's 120.
It's currently 150 for a single Team Up booster pack. This is
It went up to 150.
Yeah, that's the cheapest I could find loose. If you can find some for 120, I might pick it up.
I know how that happened.
But
I know how it jumped to 100 and then how it jumped to 150. As
far as, tell me the story.
Do you know? Just in this recent. I mean, are you Pat?
Yeah.
Like on his shorts, for shorts like.
Should I keep it open or should I open it or keep it sealed?
Well, he's done the should I open it or should I keep it sealed for Team Up.
But what did he do to cause Team Up to spike?
Not him specifically, but it's like an Alex Ketchum. Alex Ketchum started to open up a bunch of Team Up because he's trying to get the Latios.
Mm-hmm.
And Pat hit it. And it created this like little, not beat, like fake beat, like for fun, but they were opening it.
So it was Pat, kind of.
Well, yeah.
He opened up the top hit for the chase.
Well, yeah, I mean, both of them make killer content. And so like, them having this like fun little game, I think, of Team Up. I mean, I remember just, I couldn't go a day for like a couple weeks without seeing one of their Team Up openings. And so I actually think a lot of people, obviously, in the hobby watch them. And there was just a huge like little mini resurgence hype for specifically Team Up. And I mean, I guess that just goes to show the power of, influence really at the end of the day. But it is cool. I mean, you want to try to hit, like, to get a box of that set now is astronomical. So it's like, if you can find loose packs. I mean, I remember last Collecticon I was at, I saw a lot of other content creators picking up specifically Team Up loose packs for like, 100, 120. So the fact that you're telling me it's at 150 now, I mean, there's probably it's becoming more and more scarce. Like, I don't know where I can go for certain and be like, oh, I can get Team Up from this guy. Like,
this is the future of Evolving Skies, is that in 5 years, it might reach that number.
Be like that, because people just want to open up one pack to try to hit the Moonbreon.
Yeah.
And it'll be such astronomical chances, but there'll be a video where someone does it and it will just be like, oh, it's possible, and it is possible. Technically, it is possible with every pack. You could do it.
Yeah, like in 5 years' time, there could be a content creator that we don't even know exists yet, but they exploded, like Pokey Luke or someone.
Nice name.
They did a viral pack battle beef with
100 million
with future
views.
Android Logan Paul,
Yep.
and they're opening up an Evolving Skies pack every single day.
And then everyone just starts to want to open up Evolving Skies just every single day.
But I'm bringing up Team Up because it's the same kind of psychology and scenario as Evolving Skies and all these other sets. Hey, I remember when Team Up booster packs were $4. Do I really want to be spending $150 for one booster pack now? But that's the market price. And if I can find any for lower than market price, whatever market price is, like let's say I can find Team Up for 120 or 110, I'll probably pick it up from a card show because I know I'm going to want some Team Up packs for me in the future. And I don't want this for every set. I'm not out there hunting every single set, right? I'm not out there searching for Crimson Invasion or other sets.
Wait, so why Team Up? See, why do you feel... I don't feel that way about Team Up.
Team Up, one, it's a super scarce set already. Super small print run. And it is a really, really solid set. Probably one of the best Sun and Moon set.
Because of the ability to pull the Latios?
Yeah, but all the other alt-arts are really cool, too. There's the Mimikyu and... Gengar alt art is inside of that set as well.
That's in Team Up too?
Yeah, it's also in Team Up.
That's a big hitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Gengar. People love Gengar.
Yeah. So there are other big hitters, and they are hard pulls, and Team Up was low printed.
It's a strong set.
So it makes sense. It is an S tier Sun and Moon era set.
Do you remember the resurgence of 2020 in Sword and Shield? I distinctly remember this.
Mm-hmm.
People not liking the Sun and Moon like the team up gimmick, and being like, oh, the yellow like framing on the corners is weird and it doesn't look like a cool Pokemon card. And all those team up cards and a lot of those Sun and Moon GXs were very cheap.
Yeah.
Extremely cheap. And I didn't pick any of them up.
I gave away a bunch. I gave away a ton of Tag Team GX cards for my holiday giveaway.
I got one, or Eileen got one.
But you guys got the Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX card.
Yep.
And I gave away a ton of those during my holiday giveaway because they were, $5 cards
here.
That
crazy.
But like now they're like $50 to $100 each. And that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm happy that I was able to give away some cool cards to people.
You fed the hobby,
Right.
People have made money from from Santa Jake.
But the cool thing about that is that's how nostalgia works. Is people can hate a set on release, but it stays in the back of their mind, and it stays in the back of their mind, and it cooks. It boils to a certain point where you go, you know what? I had fun opening up that set. We know about this because you remember. Obviously, we all remember Evolving Skies. It's called Evolving Cries. But I remember people hated on Fusion Strike. People hated on Chilling Reign.
People hated
Chilling
on
Reign.
Fusion Strike so much.
Chilling Reign was called Chilling Pain for a long time. Yeah. But now everyone's like, dude, I got to have a booster box of that set. I got to have some more Chilling Reign or Fusion Strike booster packs.
Man, I am about to start exclusively only collecting stuff that people hate. And I put up our last short from our podcast about how you were talking about the Drowsy, and it's so funny. I think this just further proves like that we can stand on business and blanketly say, if everyone is telling you to buy a card, like if it's so popular, like the Moonbryon right now, that means it's not a good time to buy it. And if everyone is hating on a card or no one is talking about it, because they feel like it's whatever, it's shitty, or it's like that, it's just unpopular. Betting on that seems to be honestly a great way to get a huge delta, because the delta is there. You know what I mean? Like
it already starts off low.
Low because it's so low that no one wants it, that you're buying to collecting it, or if you're just like, why is this unpopular? Like I did pick up some of the tag teams because I was like, I like the way they look, but I do remember people being like, oh, I'm not interested in these, or those are loser cards, or those are lame. And that did influence my decision to be like, yeah, I don't really need to focus on collecting those. Let me focus on Sword and Shield, or even other eras. But really, if I had just picked up a lot of the Sun and Moon era stuff, it would have done way better. So it's almost like you have to fight you have to fight against the stream. You have to go against the grain. And whenever you do that, you do come out on top in weird ways, even when you think you're like betting on a losing horse. You know what I mean?
And we can go back as far as you would like, and this has always occurred. I have so many examples of this happening. I'm going to bring up a couple for you, okay? Just give me a second, but you're going to love all these examples, okay? Legendary Collection. People hated Legendary Collection because of the holographic reverse. People thought it was gaudy and overdone.
Yes, I thought that too. No, I was a kid. Were you opening packs as a kid when that set came out?
No, but I recall that happening, is that Legendary Collection was not desirable.
I was opening that as a kid. It was probably around then that I quit and started like maybe getting old enough to like go into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering. And I remember my personal feeling of that feeling. Like when I was a kid, I had all the base set. Every kid did, because everyone had base set, Jungle, and Fossil. So Legendary Collection was like, oh, it's all the same cards.
It feels like a knockoff of base set almost.
Correct. There were no new cards. And it was just repeats of base set, Jungle, and Fossil. The funny part is those reverse holo, the fireworks holos now, are so expensive. They're so sought after. I remember as a kid, we all thought they were ugly. You couldn't read the moves, like the actual skill set. So you'd be like, oh, it's so hard to read. This is stupid. And we were so ingrained as young children to think like, oh, the holographic part has to be in the photo, not on the rest of the card. So everyone hated it. Sure. I don't think anyone liked it.
Another example, okay? E-readers and Skyridge and Aquapolis. People hated the E-readers and Skyridge. The art was funky. People didn't like them for the longest time. Yeah. And then 5 or 10 years later, suddenly everyone's like, oh yeah, Skyridge is the best set.
Yep. I hated that too when I was younger. I think that So right at the end of WotC, I think I was getting out of it because I didn't really ever remember collecting those sets. Even though it's funny, I'm trying to collect them now. Actually, is the funny part. But I do remember getting some packs because I would use the e-reader scanner for the games because I still played the games. Yeah.
And now I'm going to move a little further up. Example like Shining Legends. People used to hate the test tube Mewtwo. People hated that. The test tube Mewtwo used to be a $30 card, readily available for $30. The Latias and Latios used to be a $40 card. Like all these older cards, they weren't even the top chase cards of their respective sets. And you might think, oh, scenarios like that never occurs anymore. But the market is actually not as fine-tuned as people think. When Paldea Evolve was released, the Magikarp was not the top chase card of the set. It was the Iono.
Yep.
And same thing happened with Paradox Rift. The top chase card of it right now is the Raging Bolt. But it was not the top chase card in Paradox Rift and in the beginning.
Correct.
It was one of the other Iron cards. But it was
Iron Leaves, right?
Iron Leaves was the second most expensive one.
Oh, then the Iron Cobalion.
Yes.
Iron Crown.
Iron Crown was the most expensive at release. The Raging Bolt was $4 or something like that. It was pretty high. It was like a $30, $40 card. And I remember it went to $50. I remember it went from $30 to $50. And people said, oh, this is market manipulation. Yeah. $50 for Raging Bolt EX? Hell no, I'm not paying for that. It's a cool top chase card from Paradox Rift.
No, yeah, it just got more popular, guys. Like, it started as unpopular, but I actually kind of get it. I mean, to be honest, I think more in the beginning, the value of some of those cards, because I know a lot of those are playable, I think, tournament, like, meta-wise, and so that affected the price. But if you just look at it from a collecting standpoint, I do think the Raging Bolt has the coolest looking artwork. So right now, there's stuff that people hate or that people think are lame or not worth investing in, and really that stuff is the best stuff to invest in.
It might not. I'm not gonna say you go out and pick the cheapest illustration rare.
Well, exactly, because it's more technical than that. But see, could we break down what we think? There is one thing I'm thinking of that I do feel like for our listeners, we could tell them what the speculation is, and I do think at least I'm pretty confident in my accuracy, but then, I wouldn't want anyone to just blindly follow me.
You're welcome to say if you want to make a call out that a card you think is underrated, you're welcome. We've done this before.
I don't know. We should just have an episode where for people that are really, really, I don't know, hyper focused on that or interested in like Pokemon, I guess, as a more like, see if we had a more like investy kind of talk episode.
I'm going to tell you right now, I have this fully planned out. Yeah. Is we're going to do a fantasy draft with Pokemon cards.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I'm going to draft a team of like 11 Pokemon cards, and you're going to draft a team of 11. And obviously, if you pick one of the cards from my draft, I can't pick it, and then you would have the option.
No, okay,
but this is a full fantasy draft.
And everyone could see that. But I do think, I wonder sometimes if we made an episode where if it was like focused on,
just talking about cool cards.
Talking about cards, but then also like why we think they might go up or down, which I guess is just
Rob, you just
speculating.
Rob, you're talking about my channel. I already do videos like that on a weekly basis. But yes, we can.
I guess that's true.
On Card Lounge.
Where we would talk. I know. So I don't know. Maybe we'll save that. Let us know, guys, in the comments down below if you want to see like maybe if we started a Patreon where if one of you guys or if some of you guys wanted to for an extra, $5 or $8 a month, get an extra episode that like kind of talks about this stuff. I don't even know if we'd start a Patreon. You guys let us know if you think that'd be a cool idea or not. But I just think to be able to talk about some stuff with, just the money involved and stuff like that we just think are cool cards, which we're going to talk about on this podcast too. Like we're always going to be talking about Pokemon cards.
Yeah, let us know if you guys want to do that because I'm down to talk about underrated Pokemon cards. There are so many cool cards that just don't get enough love in the hobby anyway. Yeah. But remember, we are going to be doing a giveaway for all of our Destined Rivals card. And do you remember our bet, Rob? Apparently I'm supposed to RKO you on the table or something like that. I know.
Do you know what an RKO is?
I actually don't. I'm not huge into wrestling.
That's okay. I wasn't, as informed, but guys, I got to go to Wrestlemania. How sick was this, guys? Wrestlemania at the freaking Allegiant Stadium. And what was cool about Wrestlemania is I mean, that's like the Super Bowl of wrestling. I've never gone to like a wrestling event live. and I totally get the fandom now.
Oh yeah.
Like it's super fun. Hey, look, I even got you some extra cool goodies. Special Wrestlemania exclusive gifty bags.
You got a swag bag from Wrestlemania.
Since you got me a Glory of Team Rocket.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Is this from like the VIP seating area? Did every fan get this? Or?
Not every fan got this. So actually some of this
So
stuff
could you
is
explain to me your experience? Because you got a special experience that's not unique to the fans.
Well, no,
right?
the experience is just I got to be on the, like there were floor seats. It's just where all the people that like do, I mean, there was also like stars there, like people that are, you know, big celebrities, like big fighters, big actors and actresses and singers. Yeah, this is, okay, so this is I know you see nothing inside this box, right?
It's an empty John Cena box?
Empty John Cena box that has nothing inside. You can't see
It's a
him.
Fanatics exclusive. It feels like every single Funko is exclusive
guys.
now.
I'm not really super into Funkos. You guys let us know. That's your hat, though. Look, now I got one of these at WrestleMania. Now you've got one.
Is there a wrestling slang or lingo I can say? Far out, man.
For a hat? Far out, man, I don't know if that is lingo or not. It doesn't sound like it, would be my guess.
So what do we have here?
I actually don't know what this is.
It is some kind of wrestling chess. The shape of it is probably meaningful to wrestling fan.
You gotta flip it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was an M guy. What does this M stand for?
It was a messling item.
But it's
all right. Now it's a wrestling item.
Okay, let me see what it is.
Whoa. WrestleMania.
Oh, they're dices. But it's a chess. What's inside of it?
Dice. Okay, and it opens. Is there a latch?
Yeah, there's a latch. Cool collectible. I was there.
And now, guys, Jake can pretend like he was there by wearing this championship WWE belt. I think there's actually a lot of people that were there that are fans of like cards and collecting, whether it's collecting wrestling cards or collecting Pokemon
I think there's a
cards.
lot of like intermingling with these kind of communities. Absolutely.
I saw a lot of Pokemon shirts. Dude, wrestling fans are just cool people. It's another cool thing to nerd out about.
It's a little wrestling belt. That's actually really cool. I think you could wear this. Yeah, it's like a wristband.
Yeah, you can wear it
like
if
Wonder
you're
Woman.
the size of a gopher.
No, I mean on your arm. It fits on your arm. It fully fits. It fully fits.
I think you want to wear it.
Like it literally clips on.
I think it's a belt.
I understand it's a mini belt.
I know,
but
you know,
it fully fits on your wrist or ankle.
As a bracelet, you think so?
Yes.
I do. When you had it around your wrist, I see the Wonder Woman vibe that you're getting. Yeah. It does kind of have that.
It has kind of like the Wonder Woman vibe with the W.
Honestly,
but very cool.
It's pretty good quality for just a gift that they give you.
Well, congratulations, dude. I'm really happy that you got to experience this.
Well, you get this one. Cool. This is yours.
Oh, thank you, dude. This is my swag bag. This is my Wonder Woman wristband.
That's your Wonder Woman wristband, dude.
All right, thank you guys. Yeah. Really appreciate you for watching this episode of the Card Lounge podcast.
Yes.
Remember to enter the giveaway. Leave a comment down in this comment section and subscribe to the Card Lounge. Really appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks for lounging with us. Bye.